So you talked about y- you being there for about 2 years, and it's also year two of your swimwear. Can you tell us more about Coco B Swim wear and what inspired that and how you got that off the ground?
Yeah, so what was that? I knew I always wanted to sew. I knew I did. It was just one of those things I just talked about doing. Didn't know I was gonna particularly sew swimwear. I just knew I wanted to learn how to sew on a sewing machine. And every year I'd be like, I'm gonna buy a sewing machine, I'm gonna buy it and never buy it. I mean, you know how we do. We
Yeah.
say we're gonna buy something then or do something, we don't never do it. But um, the Christmas of 2019, that's when it was. I'm trying to remember the dates. Christmas of 2019, I said, you know what? I got some extra money. I'm gonna buy myself, I'm gonna gift myself a sewing machine.
Hmm.
So I just started doing research online, just looking like what were the best sewing machines. Just started at YouTube, started on YouTube. And so I went to this fabric store. It's a local fabric store, which is really not all that great here, but the people there are really nice. And so I went in there. It was some older ladies. Older ladies, they're like the OGs of sewing. They've been doing it for years. They're like the OGs of sewing. So I went in there and just asking them a bunch of questions. What are the best sewing machines to use? What should I buy? And I mean, it ended up a whole conversation. I could go on and on about it, but just for the sake of time, like they really helped me find the best sewing machine. Now, how did I know I wanted to sew swimwear? I didn't really young in my younger years, I never really went on vacations. I didn't have my first vacation with my family till I was like 17. And it was to Virginia Beach where my family lived.
Yeah.
And never been to a beach, never. I mean, of course I had seen one on TV, like, or in movies, but um, went to Virginia Beach, had so much fun. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm 17, almost 18. I'm at a beach. This is absolutely amazing. Like I want to live on a beach. Like I want to. So I went on throughout my life and I was just like, I want to travel. I got to see this beach. I love it. I want to travel. I have to travel. I have to go to places that have water, tropical places. I got to do it. But I could never find swimsuits that could fit me. Like I already have like an athletic build.
Yeah.
And I always tell people I think my body, everybody's like, your body's so perfect. I'm like, nah, not really. Cause when it gets time to try clothes on, it's a nightmare. So I
Yeah.
could never find swimsuits that would fit me. Like I will find some, they'd be too big, or I was like trying to rig them, like, trying to make them fit. And so I said, you know what? I said, I'm gonna start sewing swimwear. And I think just a mixture just of all those things really sparked swimwear. So I started watching YouTube videos. I was literally up to like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning some days. Like I was so interested like in the videos, watching it. Some people had recommended some books to me, but it was just a mixture of all of that. And like I say, I practiced sewing I mean, Tia, you saw, I was literally practicing every single day.
Yeah.
I had an 8 to 5, I had a job, but I would go home and I'd be like, I have to sew today. I have to sew today. And I would just practice all the way up until maybe, 11 p.m., 12 p.m., go to bed, get ready for it, go to work. And it just became a schedule to me because I was doing it so much. And then I was doing that from January all the way up to about like April, May. And I was like, I think I'm ready to like start selling swimwear. And so I just started sending out like some samples to people. And I was like, just tell me what y'all think about this. Like, you can be honest. Like, I'm not going to be upset. I haven't been sewing that long, so I'm not going to be upset. But they were like, no, this is really, really good. Like, the quality is good. Like, I think you really got something. So talked to my friend Kiera. And I was like, do you think I should do it? She was like, just do it. Just start selling swimwear. And I'm like, it's not that simple to just do it. Like, no. But I think just having her encouragement, my friends' encouragement, and just I was really just putting in a lot of work with it. And I think just doing it, it's just how it really came about. Yeah, that's just how it came about. Like I said, I kept YouTubing.
Yeah.
I kept YouTubing. I must have watched like over maybe 100 videos, and I know for sure at the least it had to have been 100. But every day I was on my sewing machine. I was like, if I'm gonna get good at it, I need to be touching my sewing machine at least 2 hours a day.
Hmm.
And I made that promise to myself, and that's just how it came about.